So, hey, everybody, this is Robin and Kat is with us. We're just going to have a casual conversation about the healing process. I'm not going to say much. I'm going to introduce you to Kat and let her take it from there. But her and I were having this conversation a couple of weeks ago. She is a caregiver of her mom going through, and she corrected me on some of the terminology. So we'll say the healing process, and she'll explain why words are powerful and what she uses. So, Kat, just take it away. Tell us a little bit about you and about your mom, and we'll go from there. And then if there are questions, we'll just chat because this is just
Okay.
information we all should hear.
Absolutely. I think that I'm just going to start by saying I've been taking personally Juice Plus. Gosh, Robin, has it been 4 years, 3 years?
Yeah, I think so. A
It,
lot,
it's
a
been
while.
it's been a few years, and I have to be transparent in saying I
Yeah.
haven't really worked the business the way that I would have liked to. Just for whatever reason, life happens, right? But you take it because you believe in it, and you
Yeah.
know it's full of amazing nutrients, right? That we obviously are not getting from food. Um, my mom 2 years ago was diagnosed, and um, she was diagnosed with, and they didn't think that it began in her pancreas, but they did find a large mass in her pancreas. And anyone that knows about pancreatic cancer, um, it's very fast. It's very quick. Your body is depleted um, fairly quickly. And so, because she literally um, started losing weight, just couldn't keep any nutrients, couldn't keep any food down. I remember talking to Robin about just how safe Juice Plus would be for
Mm.
her, for someone in this condition. And Robin mentioned that I'm really careful with my words. I never say my mom has that.
Mhm.
And it sounds silly, but our words breathe life into whatever we speak.
Mhm.
So I refuse to give that life. I choose to walk in her healing. And so, in walking in her healing, I will not say that. I say she's going through chemo because that's a fact. She's going through chemo and has been for 2 years. Um, they thought it was pancreatic. She was stage 4 2 years ago.
Mhm.
It was in her lungs, in her liver, in her pancreas, in her chest. Um, and they didn't know, they really didn't know what to even say to her about what this process would look like, other than they would try whatever they could. At the time, she wasn't even 90 pounds. She was very, very small.
Wow.
So they were very careful. From the beginning, her mindset was that of a complete warrior. Like, she blew me away. The doctor asked, do you have any questions? And he was just very gentle with her. And she says, no. When do we start? When do we start? Where do we start? What do we do? Let's do this. Like, she just received that she was going to do everything she could. And to this day, she still has that mentality. She's not ready to go anywhere. She's had her peaks and valleys. But what I can say, which is the reason we're having this conversation, is Juice Plus has played such an intricate part in her healing process. Do I believe that Juice Plus is why the mass in her pancreas is completely gone? It's gone. No more mass, not even a dot in her pancreas. Do I think that Juice Plus healed her? I think that together with chemo, it did. It also helped her to not be sick. She has not thrown up a single day this entire time. Now, do I think that that's going to happen for everyone? I don't know. It's just like people with food, right? Some foods work for some people and some foods don't work for others, you know? But what I can tell you is it gave her the nutrients her body needed. So it's very, very important. Robin and I were talking about this, that there are many people that either suffer or are going through a chronic illness or maybe know someone that is, and they'll go to a doctor and they'll say, I want to give her Juice Plus, or she's been taking Juice Plus, it's a vitamin. And I will tell you, the very second they hear the word vitamin, they'll say no.
Mm-hmm.
Because vitamins feed cancer. So I was very, very intentional. When I talked to her oncologist, I said, Mom, I am giving her Juice Plus. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it is a whole food. It is all natural. It is fruits and vegetables, just as though she were eating the fruits and vegetables every day without all the bad stuff, right? That a lot of our food is, you know, it's not as natural as it used to be, right? So when I said that to him, he had never heard of it, but he said, sounds good, keep doing it. Mm-hmm. After a month, she went back to the doctor. How are you feeling? Great. He says, well, you look great. And he looks at me and says, whatever you're giving her, keep giving it to her. Mm-hmm. Keep giving it to her. So there's something so profound about the fact that it's food. It's not some miracle vitamin. It's not that. It's just food. It's just what your body needs to heal. There's no secret to it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's natural. And so, I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, I was going to ask you, tell what you're actually giving her. What's her routine and what are you actually using?
So every day she gets, I give her 2 shakes a day of the complete. And I put 2 capsules of each. So I'm giving her the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries every day, twice a day, along with the shakes. So it's real. I do that religiously. Some days, you know, she gets tired of it. she does, you know, and listen, I can only want her to go through a regimen in order for her to feel okay. But we have to understand that we're not the ones that are actually going through the process. So I try to respect her wishes. If she doesn't, I at least say, you know what, take the gummies. If you're not wanting to take a shake right now, take your Ensure, because I know she's taking protein. So take your Ensure and take your gummies.
Does she, because you said she started off at 90 pounds, where is she now? She's
actually right at maybe about 93. She has fluctuated. The journey has been full of turns. Her oncologist has been amazing at just staying on it. Like, he never just says, okay, this is what it is. It doesn't really look like it, but let's just do it. He always does research. He tries to make sure that whatever he's putting in the documentation, they're going to approve her medication. Like, he's very, very on top of it. He also judges her reaction to things. I honestly feel like if she were to come in the office and just say, I'm tired, you know, I don't want to do this anymore, I think he would then change the routine. But because she's in it to win it right now, he just keeps going. And every single time she gets on the phone with him, especially right now, she doesn't have a lot of in-person visits. He'll get on the phone and he'll say, well, just keep doing what you're doing. It's, you know, it's a whole season. It's just like I told Robin, you know, I'm not thinking about this as though one day it's just going to be over and done and she's just not going to have chemo anymore, because the reality is she was stage 4. And the fact that 2 years later,
Right.
she's still up and walking around and cooking and, you know, wanting to do things and feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're waiting for healing. I think we're in healing. I think this is her healing, the fact that she's still here.
There are, and so I'm just, because I know there's two other people on the call that Juliet, she's here, and I don't know if you want to talk, Juliet, or if you're under the camera. Where are you, Juliet? So Juliet, I'm putting you on the spot because I see you. So Juliet, where are you? I mean, do you want to be seen? I didn't tell you we're going to be seen, but I see that you're here.
I'm here, but I don't want to be seen.
Okay, you don't want to be seen, but you can be
I
heard.
actually almost missed this because I was heading to bed.
Oh, because it's late. But
and
I want
thanks
you
to Emma, I got in.
I want you to actually, because Kat doesn't know you or even your story or anybody that's on here, if you wouldn't mind just sharing your story real quick, because what I know in doing this is that we just want to touch people, and these are your guys' stories, but there are people out there that don't know anything about this form of nutrition. So I feel like we owe it to people to share it. So Juliet, again, I'm putting you on the spot. Could you share your story real quick? I know. You here.
I'll try to keep it short, but
Okay.
Kat, I'm currently stage 4 and in treatment as well. But in 2012 is when I got my diagnosis. And then I did the chemo, the radiation and all that. And then in 2015, it came back with a vengeance. And they told me that I wasn't gonna be, well, this was 2019. They actually started to give me different type of treatment, which is to block the estrogen, because I did not want to go back through radiation and chemo. That was horrible. They had to stop that because it almost took me out. And so I didn't want to do that again. So 2019, they said it looked like the current treatments, which is to block the estrogen, was not really making me better. And they told me that I needed to go home, spend whatever time I have left with my family. That was 2019. 2020 February, my brother-in-law gave me some of the products. I don't know if I can say
You
what
can say
they
it, yeah.
are.
You
Okay.
can say it. Go ahead. I know sometimes it's like, but go ahead and say it. Sometimes we don't say it. Go ahead.
I started taking the Juice Plus products in February. And that same month is when I recognized my energy level went through the roof. I couldn't, even at the time when they told me to quit my job and go home and be with my family, I was not able to walk from the house to the car back in 2019. That was November of 2019. So big difference February of 2020 in taking the products and starting to feel different. Now I have to tell you, today I started walking after I got the plant-based products. I am now walking 3 to 4 miles. Today I got my extra mile, and I didn't even realize I did it. I just kept walking, and before you know it, I took my phone out and looked at it, and it said 4 miles. I said, "Oh, I'm only supposed to be doing 3." But the energy when I get up in the morning and I take them, I just start moving, and it helps a whole lot. So to be a person that is stage 4, whenever I walk into the doctor, and I go in for my shot tomorrow to block the estrogen, because it's still there. I still have breathing issues. And matter of fact, I'm wearing they installed a catheter in my lungs, in my chest, to remove fluids. As you can hear, my breathing is always off because of the cancer. It causes my fluids build up. And I don't know what makes it happen, but it happens. And so every Friday, I'm draining. I have to drain fluids it had gotten so bad that I ended up in the hospital. They said the fluids was crushing my lungs, matching it to my heart. They showed me on the thing. But for a person that's going through all that, I'm here to say that taking the Juice Plus makes it feel that I'm not that person, that I'm not that person with lung issues and not getting sick like a lot of people you see out here constantly falling out and going to the emergency room. With my immune system, it's boosted to where I'm not the person that the doctors are expecting. When I walk in the door, they're like, "What's your pain level?" I'm like, "What pain?" And
Yeah.
did you fall today? Nope. Are you having bone pain? Nope. So all those things that they're expecting from the shot, because every treatment has side effects. So in order to counteract the side effects, Juice Plus works for me, and I am loving it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Juliet. I'm gonna go back to for Kat, and I know Ma BJ, I know you want to share a couple of things. I have customers and clients all the time that their healing process, it's like the side effects that they are known to have, or the nausea and all of those things, a lot of them don't have it. So it's just, I think we'll go back, Kat, because I don't want to cut you off from anything that you wanted to say. It's just people have to know about it. And I would say this to you, Kat, before this happened with your mom, you did not take, I mean, I would say you know it's good stuff, but you weren't taking it, or you were like, yeah, it's good, like people do, like, oh, it's okay, it's there, it's good. But when this happened, it changed your everything, I say.
It absolutely changed my perspective, because let's just be honest, right? Juice Plus was a money engine, right? It was a side hustle. It was an opportunity to not only, work on your wellness, but hey, you can make some money. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So that was attractive to me. It was very cost efficient. It wasn't expensive. I can do this. I told Robin, why wouldn't I, even just for my own product, right? So my perspective has changed so much that it's not even about, how many people can I get on my team, or, who could I get to sign up to buy this every month. Now it's, who do I know that needs this?
Yeah.
Who do I know that I would feel horrible if I never shared it with them, even just the information? Now it becomes something that now I'm responsible, right? I have this thing that I know can work for people, and not because I heard it can work. I've seen it. I've seen it work. I have to tell people about it. So when Robin asked me if I wanted to have this conversation, yes, I wish that I could have it more. I wish that more people wanted to hear it. I'm not the one going through treatment, but I know that there's something very, very, there's this sensitive part of going through this season. Juliet, I have to say, that's amazing. That's your testimony already. I would say continue to share that with people, because despite the fact that you may feel like, yes, I have this tube, right? Honey, how many miles did you walk today?
I didn't walk
no miles.
Got in 4 miles a day, and I didn't even realize that I did.
And that's the thing, and that's what brings me to the fact that we cannot look at our situation. We cannot look at what the textbook definition says we should feel like. We have to take our season and understand there's a reason you're able to walk 3 or 4 miles This is not for you. This is for somebody else that may be about to go through this season. And you're here for a reason, and we need to share these stories. It doesn't matter what it says in the doctor's notes. You feel how you feel, and you know how you feel.
Exactly.
Exactly. Wow. I know that
I'm like you, Kat. When I first learned what it could do, I was so excited about telling everybody. I wasn't interested in the business. And eventually my daughter said, well, Mom, look, you got all these people buying it and everything, and you're not working anymore, so you might as well. So it took me, I think, 4 or 5 months down the road before I decided, okay, I'll get into the business. But that was not my thing either. I really resonate with what you say. I wanted to see other people start feeling good like I was feeling, and to prove that I always believe that nutrition helps people with diseases. But now I am a walking example of that is a fact. There's not just something out there. I am living proof that it does work.
it
Absolutely.
does. It does. So I know, Ma BJ, I know you want to say a couple of things. So Kat, is it because Ma BJ, which I don't know if you've ever met her. Have you ever met her?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you got to hear her. You got to hear her story too, because these are Ma BJ. Are you willing to share? You on the spot too. I just showed up.
I was looking at the line because at 7 we have a prayer line that really involves people that all of them had death sentences.
Uh-huh.
So we do that every Monday. But my husband was diagnosed as supersized metastasized and given 2 weeks to live. Now, I didn't know about Juice Plus at that time, but Bernetta, who was on a journey of wellness, had began to tell me what foods to take away from him, which is in line with what I later learned, the Juice Plus. Um, she always felt like she was missing a piece, and when she found Juice Plus, she said, I found the missing piece. I found the missing piece. So anyway, the one thing that I did, of course, they wanted to put him in hospice. I was in the medical field as director of health and mental health for um, SCIU, so I knew a lot about health. 48 years. So I told him, no, you're not putting him in hospice because all you're going to do is make him comfortable until he's dead. And so he says, well, what do you want, lady? I said, I want you to give me everything to keep him alive until God says it's over and you don't look like him.
Right.
And so he
Right.
did. So for 8 years, I had given him IVs. I was working 4 IVs and 2 wound bags. But pulling him off of sweets and pulling him off of red meat and pork and sugars and stuff like that. That was kind of the first leg. And this September, we're now into 14 and a half years.
Years.
Okay.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, Bernetta said, I found the missing piece. Now, right at that time, they then diagnosed him with 4 other life-threatening diseases. And so we started on the the gummies.
Mhm.
I then had a mild stroke, and when I got back from being on the field with Bernetta, I started into the whole program of the shred. But I was already kind of doing something like the shred just because of his situation. The one thing I did add, you guys, is alkaline water
Water.
because I had done the research about alkaline water plus eating alkaline, which is really the way the SHRED program is. It's an alkaline uh, eating program. So when you couple the water with eating alkaline, your body has the correct pH balance. And what I do know is in that pH balance, it's not a cure for cancer, but if you eat the wrong stuff, it speeds up the growth of cancer and any other disease you got, including arthritis, inflammation, and so forth. So I was even able to stop getting a second hip replacement as a result of, of it. So now that he's been on,
I'm watching the time for you too.
he started with the plant-based, and then I said, "Oh man, you should taste these gummies." And he said, "No." I gave him one. He said, "Oh, get me that."
Right.
Yeah, but I will say this: he's been at, in addition to the fastest growing carcinoid cancerous tumor they had ever seen in life, he had 4-stage kidney and liver failure. He has kidney stones. He's got a thing called Paget's disease. He's got an aneurysm in his heart, and he's got a lymph node in his lung. All of that. And they're watching. He has 16 doctors. I go through 16 lab reports. I check them every month, levels. And I can say, okay, you're not drinking enough water. You're not doing this, not doing that. He's taking the protein, and he's doing the fruits and gummies. But I will say all his labs are better now than when they diagnosed him 14 and a half years ago.
Wow.
And he's still bad, but he's good for him. He's now in stage 3, which is bad, you know.
Well, BJ, you're not supposed to make me laugh, but yeah,
No,
he's
I mean,
better bad.
yeah. But it's when you're coming from supersized metastasized
Right.
and trying to deal with stage 4, and he's in stage 3. And I can tell even now he's slowing down and stuff. But it's been 14 and a half years, you guys, since he was given 2 weeks to live. Okay.
He's living and is healing right now.
And
his
he looks
attitude,
real good. You would
yeah.
never, ever.
And he doesn't want anybody to know. I have what looks like a pharmacy over here. I have to keep it in these cute boxes that look like decorator items because he doesn't want the house to look like a pharmacy, you know.
Yeah, because
But
he looks
it's a
amazing.
lot. It's a lot. And
Yeah.
I wanted
That's
to say
awesome.
because I'm gonna
That
get
is
ready.
awesome.
And like you, I'm not a salesperson, but I do feel the obligation
Yes.
to work with other people that said they just gave me this long. And there's another lady on the line, prayer line that's on it. December will be 9 years. She had a rare melanoma which produced protein in her body of 4,600. One of the nurses told me she was a walking dead. She didn't know how she was even going to the Keck Center. Her husband came to our house almost 9 years ago, crying because he knew what the situation was going to be. I said, look, I'm going to give you, go get a 5-gallon thing and fill up from we got the alkaline machine at home. So that way I don't have to go out and buy it. So we was giving it away. And he was getting 5 gallons of it. And then we start telling him, okay, this is how you got to feed her and stuff. She's still living today. She's gone through seminaries, gotten her degree. Does she have bad days? Yes, you know, and stuff like that. But right now, a good majority of the people on our prayer line are people with death sentences.
BJ, so it's 7 o'clock. I know. I don't know if you watched. You said you had to get on there. So we glad you were here.
Absolutely. You are definitely doing the work you're supposed to be doing.
That's what we feel.
And her birthday is it's this week. Next week.
No,
next week.
It's my birthday's the 23rd, but my little party
is the 25th. Yes, and she's happy birthday 75.
Happy birthday. That is so amazing.
And he's 77, so I give him a party every year just to celebrate that he's had another year to live.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm on, guys.
All right. So
I think we
we're,
should do this more often.
I know, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I invited
BJ,
a lot of people
BJ's
that couldn't be
aging
on, but send me
backwards.
the recording because I'm going to send it to
Yes,
people.
I want this.
So that
I'll get the recording out. I'm gonna stop the recording. Is there anything you want to say? Because this, it was your story, but we had some others that had some remarkable
But
stories.
can I say this? That's how God works, right? He never does something one-sided, and nothing is done by mistake, right? He does things perfectly and in order, no matter what it looks like. He has a perfect process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, I'll say this, those that are listening, if you're listening as a recording, contact the person that invited you here and get some more information, talk to them. They have the information that you need. And I would say this, even though we said the name Juice Plus and people have the tendency to want to go and Google and look up things, talk to the person that invited you here because they have information that you will not find just by going out in the world looking for it. So,
right.
All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. Stop it. Yes.